Greetings YouTube, welcome to another video. Today I feel inclined to talk about the reptilian races. In my own contact with the reptilian races, I am indeed a contactee of the reptilian races. I am a contactee of the benevolent reptilian races. I am also a contactee of the ones that are organic and are very close in DNA structure to humans as far as extraterrestrials go. The reptilian is a very serious energy. It is an energy of like a soldier type energy where they do direct command control, and they do run their worlds and systems that they oversee like a military. A lot of times their worlds are structured like a military. When I go back into my past lives as one, I can definitely see that even if you are a reptilian humanoid or a reptilian hominid, you will still feel that. That's the way that they do things. They're very organized and systemly, from the sake of discussion here. I will say that's the best way to put it. Very systemly and very organized. The reptilian races I encountered were not at all negative. And I did have experience with Saurons. I did have experience with ones that do wear hoods. Like they look like a two-legged, I mean, a taller version of a gecko with robes on. Did have contact experience with the sea cars, the white draconians, amongst many others. I'm going to tell you that if I wasn't ready for this contact, I would not have personally had this contact. But I intended to have contact with the most benevolent forms that are existing in organic creation for the highest good of humanity and other interstellar and outer stellar species. I'm going to tell you that my lineage, I am tied into the reptilian races. At the base of creation, the reptilian races are fire races. They are fire. And they are fire within the cold-blooded bandwidth. Some of they can be cunning, and some can be downright manipulative. Yes, they can be. They test you when you first meet them to see if you're worthy for being presented with information from them. They will test you in various different ways. They'll look at you. They want to see if you're afraid of them or not. They want to see if you're going to flinch or if you're going to stand there and stare down at them. They're big into, when I first had my own contact experience with them, they're big into staring at you and just looking into your soul, for the lack of a better term, and really staring at you. And then they get a little bit closer to see if they can approach you. They don't always say anything, and a lot of the conversation we had was telepathic. Growing up, they stepped through a portal in my bedroom, which was a closet, and so they stepped through. And my first experience that with them that I can remember, it was the King Cobra race. It was the serpent race. The serpent race walked through the door. They were very much a hybridized race. You could tell half human, half snake. Reminded me of Nagas. If you look into Asian myth literature, they reminded me of Nagas, but they had 2 legs. The legs were more human looking, but the top was then the serpent looking. King Cobra species stepped through with the hoods on their heads and proceeded to tell us that they have been watching us since we came to Earth for our whole lifetime, and that they will continue doing so, and that they will monitor the situation with my parents, particularly my dad at the time. They will watch the situation with his, for lack of a better term, anger situations that he had. while he was in existence on Earth. Very protective. I'll tell you, they're very protective. They visited that, and they stepped back through the closet, and then they came back again, and then it was a handful of years later then that we had experiences with the other types of reptilian races. But I'm telling you, my experience with them, for some odd reason, there seems to be a lot of speciesism towards the reptilian races. You hear, well, the reptilians have these agendas, and I feel this is a counterintuitive move, and I feel that this is not the full spectrum of the species, because there are a wide variety spectrum of species. You know, their build is very strong, okay? I mean, if they wanted to, the majority of them were taller than me. If they wanted to, they could have taken me out. They could have broken me apart. They chose not to, because we had within us, they could see the identifying DNA and genome type that we had at the time, and they can see it through, they do have certain types of technologies that they will scan with. Sometimes they scan with their eyes to look inside of you, but they're not devoid of light or life, and they're not what we would call a portal or soulless being. They are very much interested in helping humanity in their current timeline. But this was a very interesting experience with them, and I had several experiences with them. There was a draconian experience where I was at the time having to live with my in-laws. The situation wasn't that great, but they popped in. The two white Dracos popped in, and one, in this case, one was a male and one was a female, and they both popped in, and they're like, "We're here, we're watching you, we want to make sure that you're okay. Anything you need from us, please call us." This was I was coming in the house, and it was in the middle of winter, and it was I was looking into the stars, and it was a very much a cold winter's night. The sky was clear, and they popped in very tall, briefly, but two clear as day white Dracos. I mean, strong. I mean, you could tell they weren't really carrying any staffs or spears or sticks or anything like that, but they were just there telling me that they are here to watch the situation. And again, if we need anything, don't hesitate to call them. Don't hesitate to call on them. Of the sea cards were another race, which we had another branch of the Dracos, which we had experiences with. And with the sea cars, it was, again, they're very, again, getting back to their features, they're very muscular. I mean, to me, it reminded me of, like, if you see athletes that are like bodybuilders, they were stronger than the bodybuilders. They were stronger than bodybuilders, and they often said that their muscle age is not for show or aesthetics. It is used as a type of armor to protect them. It says it protects their vital and internal organs, and it protects them from battle damage, because a lot of these species will prove to the other partner that they are worthy of mating with them through various mating rituals. And they're very much into that. I want to say that sometimes some of the alpha male type of stuff that our society has integrated, we feel has come from that connection, because the reptilians are the race of fire. They are the race of fire. They are primordial races, and the dragon is a primordial extension of, an ascended extension of the reptilian fire energy. Yet the DNA in the dragon is all completely different. But the point is that they were just very beautiful experiences, very strong experiences. Making me talk about them right now is making me feel stronger. I mean, like, strong in the throat chakra, speaking my truth. And the fact is that we did not all feel threatened by them and anything like that. I would say to the people, I don't want to really address any of that here. I just want to keep it more neutral or love-based if possible, but neutral-based. I would just say very strong, very, very orientated. And right now, with the Earth situation we find ourselves in at the moment, very concerned for the organic timeline, because they are an organic species of creation. They are not artificially induced. They are an organic species that developed over time. And in this world, there is evidence of the reptilian empire, and it's still here. There's vestiges of it. You can see that around the world through the ancient mythologies of certain areas. Very much part of that. And I would say that the reptilian energy and the genetics I would feel it's one of the master genome programs, the regulatory programs that run through our genetic lines. And sometimes our society looks very much like a reflection of the reptilian society. I'm not one to say, oh, they're all this or they're all that. These are just my experiences, and these are the experiences I had with them as being a contactee of the reptilian race. Well, the reason I'm talking about it now is because I was pressed to come forward with this information recently. It keeps coming up over and over and over again that we should talk about the reptilian. We should talk about the reptilian energy and the fire energy. And it's a very serious stoic energy. This soldier-like. They very much follow orders. And if you are a reptilian seed, you can very much go into a corporate structure and ascend the corporate ladder and do it in a very organic and positively directed way, where you always speak your truth and keep your integrity. And they can thrive in that kind of atmosphere. Many of the reptilian seeds make good dynamic leaders of our structures on Earth, including corporations and companies. But to get into the really weird conspiracies with them, I'm not all about that. Unless there's some actual proof and someone saying something and carrying it through the internet, doesn't carry weight to me. Actual empirical evidence of that. I'm sharing with you my personal evidence. If this resonates with you, please hit the like button and share. And if it resonates with you, please take the information that resonates with you. And if the rest doesn't, discard the rest. It's like anything else. I'm just sharing with you my feelings on my experiences with the reptilian race. And a lot of them were green, too. I had a lot of experiences with the hominoid, what they look like, and they're tall. They are super tall and super strong. And you can tell. And I feel that sometimes we see this energetic structure even within our female society right now, the feminine society as well as the masculine society, or both female and male. We see a lot of this within it right now, and sometimes within the combat sports itself, I'll see a lot of female reptilian seeds expressing that reptilianness, which I feel sometimes it's hard to do, but it can be done in a very integrated way. So I just wanted to kind of bring a little more understanding to them and a little more clarity to the reptilian race. And this was my video about it. And it's just that I have never, ever felt threatened by them. I've never felt they've been trying to control my mind. We've worked with them in a very positive, organic type of way. And I'm not all into about definitely from this level creating speciesism or starseed racism. Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. But I've encountered it across many platforms before, and I myself have been the subject of this ridicule and being attacked because they found out that my composite energy was in fact reptilian. So then I get blamed for all sorts of Earth issues, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about empowerment and speaking your truth. So until then, thank you for watching. Bye for now.